Let us now understand what is the difference between GDP and GNP. When I talk about GDP of any economy, GDP is the value of goods and services that are produced within the domestic frontiers of a country. Within a period of 1 year. Actually, a specific time period, but we can take it to be 1 year. One thing that you have to kind of understand is whenever we talk about GDP, we always talk about final goods and services. We do not include the goods and services that are either intermediate goods or services or second-hand goods or services, or the goods and services that are not traded in the market. These are not included in GDP. Now, if I have to go ahead and compare GDP to GNP, then GNP is the value of goods and services that are produced by the residents of the country. It may or may not be produced within the domestic frontier, but it has to be produced by the residents of the country. Now just try and understand this thing. Supposedly, I tell you that this is the domestic frontier of any country. Within the domestic frontiers of my country, I have people who are the residents of my country. These people, these are the residents of my country. And I have people which are not the residents of the country. Let me mark it by some other color. These are non-residents of my country. Similarly, I will talk about other countries. Supposedly, there is this other country that I talk about. And in this other country also, this country has the people who are of its own country. So, people of country B supposedly are marked by green. And people of country A are marked by maroon, let's say. Supposedly. Now, GDP says that whether, these are the people of country A and these are the people of country B. GDP says that whether it is produced by country A people or produced by country B people, as long as it is being produced within the domestic frontiers of the country, as long as it is within this boundary that you are producing, it is part of GDP. And it is a final good, and it is produced within a specified year, and it is marketable. As long as all of this is true, then it is GDP of my country. As against this, what is GNP? GNP says I am not concerned with the boundaries of the country. I am only concerned with what my people are producing, the residents of my country are producing. This person, this, or this. What is the total output produced by the residents of my country? That is GNP of my country. So, if I have to go from a concept of GDP to a concept of GNP, supposedly, I tell you that I have to go to GNP. when somebody has given GDP to me. So GDP would have the output of these people who are within the country and residents of my country, and the output of the people who are not the residents of my country, but they're producing within my country. All of these people are producing within the domestic frontiers of my country. But for GNP, I don't want these people. I don't want to add the output of these people, right? So for GNP, what I really want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to remove the output of the people which is not being produced by the residents of my country, even though it is being produced within the domestic frontier. And I also want to kind of add the output of these people. So I want to bring in these people here and I add their output. So, these 5 people should be added. Only then I will get GNP of my country. So what I have to also do is I have to add the output of these people who are not in my country, but they're the residents of my country, but they're producing outside the domestic frontiers. And I have to subtract the output of the non-residents of my country, but who are producing within my domestic frontier. Once I do these 2 things, what I get is GNP, gross national product. So what is gross national product? Gross national product is the output that is being produced by the residents of the country within the domestic frontiers or outside the domestic frontiers. Now just try and understand this thing, that this income is nothing but it can be called in 2 parts. This is the income that goes to, this is the factor income to abroad. Isn't it the case? It is going to the people who are not the residents of my country. So although they're within my national boundaries, within my domestic frontier, the income that is being earned by them is going to the people who are non-residents of my country. So this is factor income to abroad. Similarly, this part here, right here, is factor income from abroad. These are the people who have gone abroad, but they're very well the residents of my country. And the difference between these 2 can be known as net factor income from abroad. How much is the additional income we earned from abroad if it is positive? And if it is negative, then it would be net factor income to abroad. So for example, people who were non-residents of the country but were within my country earned $1,000. But our people, the residents of the country, they went out and they earned $1,200. So in net, we have earned additionally 200 more from the residents of the people of the country who went out and earned some money for us. Are you getting it? So GDP plus net factor income from abroad gives GNP. This is location specific. This talks about within domestic frontier, by residents or non-residents, but domestic frontiers. This is ownership specific. Who earned that income? Was it earned by the residents of the country or was it not earned by the residents of the country? Only if the income was earned by the resident of the country, I would add it to the GNP of the country. Okay.